Do you remember the election guru, Allan Lichtman, whose 13 Keys model supposedly accurately predicted the winner of most elections dating back to 1984, and how he was sticking by his prediction that Kamala Harris was going to win, even though he obviously wasn't even reading his own model because there were several keys that she was missing, but he was drinking the Democrat Kool-Aid, so he didn't even see it. Well, here he is coming up with a new theory as to why his model failed this time around. And wait for it.
And the keys, because the keys depend upon a rational, pragmatic electorate deciding based on governance whether the incumbent party should get 4 more years.
Oh, the American people were irrational. The Trump voters were irrational. And that's why his model failed. Tell us more, sir.
And we've seen the explosion of some trends that have existed before, but not to this extent. Disinformation.
Oh, so he forgot to incorporate misinformation into his model, as if every election in the past has been completely honest and straightforward, and neither campaign was spinning lies, and nobody in the media was either. I mean, what's next? Is he going to blame Elon Musk? Oh, wait, what's this?
You know, Elon Musk is, I don't know how many hundreds of billions he has. He has been the director of misinformation. 2 billion views of his spreading of disinformation.
Of facts that the liberal media industrial complex and the Democrat Party didn't want the voters to know.
Not just about the economy, but about immigrants, about minorities. We've never seen.
Oh, you mean he was telling the American people about the millions of the criminal invaders who poured into this country, who were welcomed by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who, if you watch the Clown News Network and any of the other liberal news channels, then their brain-dead audience really had no idea just how bad the problem was.
Never seen to this scale the agitation of 3 trends that have been very deeply embedded in American history: misogyny, racism, and xenophobia. You know, the first anti-immigrant law was 1798, and Donald Trump wants to revive it.
Well, it's because the founding fathers knew that they had to actually control who it was that comes into our country. This clown is so famous in elite political circles that his keys to the White House has its own Wikipedia page. And if you take a look at what the keys are, some of them actually make sense, but he was in such denial that he didn't even see that Kamala didn't fit them. For example, one of the keys has to be that there are no scandals, that the incumbent administration doesn't have any major scandals. Well, the Biden and Harris administration was plagued with scandals. Another one of the keys is that there can't be any foreign or military failure. Well, we all know what happened when old Joe pulled out of Afghanistan. We all know how he's been unable to handle the situation over in Ukraine with Russia. We all know what's going on over in Israel with their neighbors over there in Gaza. Also, there has to be a strong short-term economy and a strong long-term economy. Those are 2 other keys that he checked off, that he said Kamala had, even though everybody knows that there is a housing crisis, that rent is out of control, that the inflation problem is just devastating families with the cost of food and fuel. As we continue this Trump total victory weekend, let's take a look at some of these Sunday shows, shall we? Every Sunday morning on the big broadcast networks, they have like a weekly wrap-up, a weekly highlight of the events throughout the week. And Donald Trump's total victory was so obvious, so devastating to them that they're not even bothered trying to spin it or deny it.
Good morning. Welcome to This Week. In just 71 days, Donald Trump will be sworn in again as president of the United States. His comeback victory unlike anything we have ever seen in American history. Just take a look at the final results. With Arizona now projected for Trump, he locks in a sweeping victory in every single battleground state. And Trump did more than that. He made big gains with young voters and with Latinos, doing better among Hispanic voters than any Republican presidential candidate since the first exit polls were conducted in 1976. He even did better among women than when he ran against Joe Biden. He also made...
But wait, there's more.
He also made significant gains in some of the most democratic places in the country, doing better in places like Brooklyn, New Jersey, and Chicago. And in deep blue California, Donald Trump is on track to do better than any Republican in 2 decades. And he was running against a Californian. California voters also rejected liberal policies on taxes, rent control, and crime. they voted overwhelmingly to approve Proposition 36, which imposes tougher penalties for shoplifting and drug possession.
That was the one that Kamala refused to take a stance on when she was asked, because you can't have a Democrat saying that they want to be tougher on crime and arrest criminals. So that was over on ABC, always broadcasting crap. Here is CBS, the crap broadcasting station, with their show Face the Nation, with this host who is trying to keep herself put together. She's been in shambles for the last few weeks. It's not going to get any easier for her over the next few years, that's for sure.
Overnight, CBS projected Donald Trump the winner in Arizona, giving him a complete electoral vote sweep of the 7 battleground states.
Total victory.
With a final tally of 312 electoral votes, Republicans scored their biggest White House win in 36 years.
Over on NBC, Nothing But Crap's Meet the Press, they also sounded like journalists once again for the first time in almost a decade.
Democrats now grappling with their stunning loss and trying to figure out what went wrong.
Had the president gotten out sooner, there may have been other candidates in the race. Kamala, I think, still would have won, but she may have been stronger, having taken her case to the public sooner.
They just don't get it. Well, she was a terribly weak candidate and a pathetic DEI hire. The American people rejected the Democrat Party's policies. It wouldn't have mattered who they put up.
I think people never got to know Kamala Harris during the time she was in this campaign.
Wrong again. The American people actually, thankfully, did get to know her once she finally started doing interviews, which she was avoiding for some time. And then the facade that the media had built up around her, being the savior of democracy and the most qualified candidate ever, completely collapsed. Other Democrats, however, are coming to realize that their party just went completely insane. And if there's any hope of them ever appealing to the average American instead of their new voter base of illegal aliens who thankfully will not be allowed to vote since Donald Trump is in office, and hopefully tens of millions of them will be expelled from our country soon. Now they are talking about what the party actually needs to do to become normal again.
If the goal is to win elections on Twitter, then you should embrace movements like defund the police. But if the goal is to win elections in the real world, where it matters, then you have to appeal to working class people of color.
Oh, of color. So they just didn't pander to the black people and the Latinos enough. Okay, I'm sorry. Did I say that some of the Democrats are coming to grips with what happened? They're still all insane.
The party itself has increasingly become a smarty pants, suburban, college-educated party.
A woke, disgusting, mentally ill party, yes. Some, however, are still so delusional, they think that Kamala Harris could still be the first woman president. Not in 2028. Zero chance of that happening. Not by some shenanigans that they're planning on pulling, although Jamie Ratskin has said that they plan on not certifying Donald Trump on January 6th, but through other insane means.
Start with you.
Joe Biden has been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her from being able to have...
They're even laughing at him. His fellow panelists on the Clown News Network. Even the host, Dana has a rash.
From having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat. And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see is the time. This is the moment for us.
Even the black woman is laughing at him. Stay tuned because there's more media meltdowns. There's more finger pointing, more Democrat disarray. And by the way, today, Sunday, is the last day to save 20% off any of my shirts by using the promo code VICTORY at the checkout. So if you want to get your Christmas shopping done early, head on over there and order yourself a Cat Lives Matter shirt, the classic Trump Fight, Fight, Fight shirt, a Teflon Don shirt, or any of my awesome designs. All available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and many in a whole bunch of different colors as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below. Enter the promo code VICTORY at the checkout to save 20% through Sunday, and check them out.